Tar Heels got busy getting dubs all over the athletic department this weekend. Women's basketball, you just heard Grace Townsend. Carolina beat NC State. The Pack was ranked 10th, 66-65. Renia Kelly was really good for the second straight game. She had a career-high 23. She's had back-to-back 20-point games. Maria Gokdang was big. She had 10 points and 8 rebounds. The 8 rebounds were important because State was getting a lot of rebounds with Alyssa Espy out.
I think State out-rebounded the Heels by 18. Is that right?
In that neighborhood.
Yeah.
Tar Heels were down by 6 with 1:50 left. Things looked bleak in Carmichael Arena. But then Renia Kelly hit a 3. Lainey Grant, former pod guest, made a couple big plays, hit a couple free throws also. And then you just heard her talk about it. Grace Townsend with the game-winning free throws. Tar Heels 23-4 overall, 11-3 in the league. That moves them up to 4th. And again, what is a really good league. Tar Heels go to Syracuse on Thursday. It'll probably be sunny and 74.
When Syracuse natives were apologizing to us for the weather conditions, you know that the weather was gross.
I don't know if we have any pod listeners in Syracuse, but if so, what made you decide that that's where you want to live permanently? Like you want to full-time live in Syracuse?
You know what I will say about Syracuse? I think number 1 rank in the entire ACC in the FBO at their airport. I think it's the best one. The snacks in that FBO, elite. Elite, Adam.
Yeah, I guess I don't think of it that way because the ones I think of as being the best are probably Blacksburg and Clemson because they're really close to the arena, which that's important, but snacks are important too.
Elite.
Snacks can be a game changer on that late night flight home.
Yeah. Ice cream sandwiches, check. Popcorn, check. Hot chocolate machine, yes. Full soda machine that has root beer, check. It's just elite.
Bit of an irony that Syracuse would be the one that has the ice cream sandwiches when typically when we're there, the temperature is below freezing.
I'm just telling you, one of the best.
Tar Heels look like they might have one of the best baseball teams in the country this year, too. Carolina sweeps a good Texas Tech team this weekend, and a lot of newcomers making a lot of big plays, which is encouraging. Ryan Lynch on the mound, 4 innings in relief in the third game of the series, struck out 7 in those 4 innings. He got the win. Good defense in the outfield, which we talked about was something we weren't sure how good would that be this year because you lost a lot from last year. The answer is pretty good. Kane Kepley robbed a homer in Game 1. Tyson Bass had a big diving catch in Game 3. Kepley had the highest batting average over the weekend. He hit .385. Bass and Rom Kellis, who had 3 doubles, each drove in 3 runs. Alex Madera, .500 on base percentage in those 3 games. Some encouraging signs. Carolina was really good on the mound, as you thought they would be, but it wasn't necessarily all the names that you've heard before, which is encouraging.
The Tar Heels don't have as much power at the plate as they've had the last couple of years, so they will probably have to score runs in a little different way, which is doable. Their pitching was outstanding this weekend. Texas Tech is a upper half of the Big 12, good team, and the Tar Heels shut them down for the most part this weekend. So really impressive pitching from Carolina for sure.
And I think you probably guess like Gavin Gallagher and Luke Stevenson are going to hit probably better than they did this weekend, and that's going to make the offense look even better. The schedule has changed this week.
There's been moving parts schedule-wise all over the place.
Carolina's now going to host Kansas State today. Just a normal Tuesday game against Kansas State.
Tar Heels just making the Big 12 invitational here.
K-State was in town to play Coastal and played them yesterday on Monday, and so it was convenient that they could just, hey, come a day earlier, play the game Tuesday instead of Wednesday when the weather looks dicey. The A&T game has now been moved to next Wednesday. So readjust your calendars.
What up A&T for being flexible to be able to change that game around so that Kansas State, who obviously is much farther away, instead of running the risk of potentially sitting around far from home and not being able to play the game because of potentially bad weather, they get the game in. A&T is going to still play the game just a little bit later. What up A&T for being flexible?
Well, in K-State, typically you would not want to play Tuesday if you just played Monday. I think they played 4 games this weekend, including Monday. your pitching is taxed. It would have been easy to go, we don't want to come to Chapel Hill in that
You know
situation.
what? We just respect all these competitors.
Yeah, that's right.
Just respect.
I've always said no one competes harder than Kansas State baseball, a program I know a ton about.
Yeah.
Softball, 6-game winning streak. Perfect game for Britton Rogers. That's her second career perfect game and only the 10th in program history.
She has 20% of them.
That's right. Her perfect game came against Drexel. Carolina won 5-0. Good week for Kat Rodriguez. She drove in 12 runs over the course of the week. Kenna Ray Dart continues to be excellent on the mound. She had 31 strikeouts the first 2 weekends. That's more than 4 entire ACC teams have so far this year. That's impressive. Also impressive women's lacrosse. Women's lacrosse, watch out, might be a national title contender. Tar Heels up to number 3 in the country, and they beat number 5 Florida at Florida on Saturday, 14-9. Here is Florida's problem. They had no Humphrey sisters.
Tar Heels have Humphreys all over the place, and they are making impactful plays left and right.
Carolina's got 3 Humphreys, and 2 Humphreys had a big day on Saturday. At some point, are we going to try to have a 3 Humphrey interview? How would that even occur?
I don't know. Pod World headquarters would be stretched to the max there. We can probably figure it out.
I feel like there's
I don't think we can
there.
talk to them. If we have one, we got to talk to them all.
Right. So this weekend, Ashley Humphrey had 3 goals and 6 assists. Chloe Humphrey had 5 goals. So if you just put the 2 Humphreys together, they combined for 8 of Carolina's 14 goals. So it was Florida 9, Humphreys 8.
Yeah. Plus 6 assists.
6 of Carolina's 8 assists and 14 of Carolina's 22 points.
That's pretty good.
That is a good day. Ma and Pa Humphrey were happy, I bet. Tar Heels are 3-0 overall. They're back in Chapel Hill Saturday against Syracuse. That's the ACC opener.
Syracuse, good team normally, right?
Yes. Men's tennis had a doubleheader with the Citadel, swept them 7-0 both times. Anthony Wright, the clinching singles match victory in both matches. Tar Heels host South Carolina State on Thursday. Another big meet for gymnastics, second straight meet over 196, and third straight post-pod meet when JoJo Valahovic just dominates.
Yeah. We don't know yet. Strong chance she's going to be ACC Newcomer of the Week again.
Could she not be ACC Gymnast of the Week? 9-9 on vault, 9.95 on beam. Jones.
5.
Reagan McBride had 9.9 on beam. Tar Heels were good on the beam.
Those are both freshmen, by the way. Reagan McBride and JoJo. We know JoJo is.
This was against Pittsburgh. Carolina won. I don't know if I said that or not. Julia Noer won the all-around and the floor. Lali Dekanoidze won the bars. Carolina had a very good meet. They go to NC State on Friday.
That's a big one. That's a big one. They've already met once this year. Both had a solid meet. State pulled away at the very end to win it. Carolina, though, at the time had its season-high score, but the Heels have improved. So that's going to be a good one.
And a busy weekend for the Tar Heel gymnasts.
I think right now those two teams, like Stanford and Cal, as we've said before, the West Coast expansion was to get gymnastics strong.
Right.
Those two teams are, I think, better right now than the other teams in the league. State and Carolina, in my opinion, are the next. They're the next. And then Clemson and Pitt are the next. But none of these teams are bad. Like, the league is continuing to get better. But I think right now Carolina and State are kind of jostling for that third place position. State's probably got a little bit of the edge at this moment, but Carolina's coming on strong, so that'll be a good meet.
As part of a lot going on this weekend, because then Carolina goes to the Metroplex Challenge in Fort Worth.
This against Oklahoma, right?
Against Oklahoma.
Are they number one? If they're not number one, Oklahoma's like 1, 2, or 3. They're elite. So
that's on Sunday.
That'll be a great. That's a quick turnaround.
That's what I just said.
Got to go to the Metroplex.
Do you think that's at Dickies Arena in Fort Worth?
Yes.
If so,
no, yeah, I'm sure. I would think almost assuredly it is, because I think the national championships have been there before.
What a luxurious meet to attend that will be at the world's finest arena, Dickies Arena.
Quite honestly, one of the best arenas we've ever been to.
Watching JoJo Valahovic and the Tar Heel gymnasts compete against one of the best teams in the country.
That's a lot of pod coming together right there.
It really is. If you're in the Dallas-Fort Worth area,
check it out.
You will not regret going to Dickies Arena. You will not regret seeing the Tar Heel gymnasts. Men's lacrosse. We talked about women's lacrosse. men's lacrosse has been performing very well here early in the year. They beat Stony Brook 9-4. Dominic Petramala had 5 goals. Carolina's 2-0 overall. They will play traditional power Johns Hopkins this weekend in Baltimore at noon on Saturday. And then wrestling comes through with yet another win. Beat Virginia 26-10 on senior night on Friday. Tar Heels up to number 16 nationally. They go to Stanford on Friday night.
Did anyone lose?
Not that we just talked about.
But there may have been a team that did?
No, we're comprehensive on the Olympic sport update. There might have, team-wise, there were no defeats.
What a weekend.